So, good lap for Alex Albon. He is P3. Fernando Alonso is in 7th. Stroll went over the line in 12th position. Hulkenberg got himself up to what is 14th at the moment. Gasly is only 13th for Alpine, and now we've got Magnussen in the drop zone. He's gone. So is Yuki Tsunoda, who got into the second part of qualifying. Piastri goes over the line, but only 14th fastest. Still lap times to come from Daniel Ricciardo, from Logan Sargent, and from Valtteri Bottas. Bottas goes in the first part of qualifying. He is only 17th fastest. Sargent had his second home Grand Prix of the year, wringing the neck of the Williams, but to no effect at all. He's only 19th. Can Daniel Ricciardo make it out? He can! He finds a great lap when it counts to go over the line to demote both Hasses at their home race, along with Bottas and his teammate. And Daniel Ricciardo, who is going to be directly compared to Yuki Tsunoda, is ahead of him today. He's 15th, Tsunoda drops out, and Sargent is 20th.
What the? Come on, man!
Sorry, I don't speak Japanese. What did he say?
Wow, that is right. You definitely speak frustrated racing driver. So now, that is George Russell and Charles Leclerc.
And penalty for Mr. Russell. Thank you, Captain.
Charles is downright reasonable at all times, but I like that. That's a penalty. Falling at the first hurdle. Hulkenberg, his teammate Magnussen, Bottas, a former winner of this Grand Prix, and then Tsunoda and Logan Sargent. Oh, there's been a moment there for Max Verstappen. We join him on board, but the tyres tell a story. Here we go, we are heading to turn 9.
Okay, well, looks to me as the car's been bouncing through the apex, as you get bounce, you get variation in downforce, and he's just found himself in a window where he's applying throttle when the car's saying, hey, I'm not giving you the downforce.
Yeah, you see like that frequency of the balance. It's kind of to Sam Collins' point from earlier that the Red Bull just really doesn't seem to tolerate the bumps.
Who is going to make it into SQ3? It's a time good enough for 9th place at the moment for Esteban Ocon. Still, we wait to see what Albon, Hamilton, Gasly and Ricciardo can do. 8th fastest for Lewis Hamilton behind his teammate. We're seeing a complete variation compared to yesterday's performance. They are still on the medium tyre. That's Pierre Gasly lighting up the rear tyres, going ahead of both Mercedes and demoting his teammate out of the session. As he does so, Alex Albon, 3rd fastest in the first part of this sprint shootout, looking for another performance that takes him into the top 10. That's the aim for the Thai driver as he comes across the line, and he does go to 10th to drop down Fernando Alonso, who is not on a strong lap at this point at all. Joe will not take part in the final shootout. He is struggling. No time on the board for Daniel Ricciardo. He is the sole AlphaTauri in this session. The 8-time Grand Prix winner coming to the final corner of the 3.4 miles, the second of the Americas, and he fights his way to 11th, but it's not enough to get through. That is a superb performance for Alex Albon, who was knocked out in Q1 yesterday to make SQ3 today.
On board with Lance Stroll coming down to turn 12, and very unusual. Something stepped out on the rear axle there. It's almost as if the braking by wire just pulled the handbrake on.
And then both fronts lock that's a very peculiar incident.
Ricciardo got close, but not close enough, and Alonso, Ocon, Stroll in the second Aston Martin, and Zhou Guanyu go out in the second part of the shootout. And Verstappen in the middle sector, that's a very tidy time.
It is. Then Norris in the middle sector, he's less than a tenth down on Verstappen, so I still have him net ahead right now.
Benchmark set for Max Verstappen on the soft tyre is a 1:34.538. Lando Norris is going to be close here. How much does he risk in the final corners of the lap? It will be tight, but has it been another phenomenal final sector for Max Verstappen? It has. There's a 1/10 of a second between the two. Here's the man who took the shootout last time we ran the session. Oscar Piastri, new to this circuit, behind his teammate, behind Max Verstappen by 3.5 tenths. But the man on pole yesterday is rapid once again. Charles Leclerc, who took the shootout in Baku, our first sprint race weekend of the season, wants to go back-to-back as Pierre Gasly goes into 4th. You can hear him scrubbing off the speed, staying within the white lines of turn 19. Rotate the car through the left-hander at the end. This will be tough. tight, trying to go past Norris, trying to go past Verstappen, but he's missed out by half a tenth there, 0.05 of a second. What about his teammate trying to respond as Albon goes ahead of Pierre Gasly? A superb lap for a driver in great form.
And looking down the rest of the order, the Mercedes are not turning purple anywhere.
Over the line goes Carlos Sainz to 5th position. Couldn't get on terms with his teammate. 1/10 of a second separating the top 3. Here comes Sergio Perez across the line. He goes behind Sainz in the Ferrari, unable to do what his teammate was able to do a few moments ago. It's looking quick for the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton across the line. What an extraordinary situation we've got here. 4 drivers separated by 1/10 of a second, but Hamilton couldn't find a response to Verstappen. George Russell is going to complete this session to go over the line. He cuts the beam. He goes up to 8th position. And the sprint shootout delivers once again. For the 3rd time this year, it's Max Verstappen who takes it. He's the fastest car at the end of the shootout.
And that's P1 as well, fuel in hand as well, nice job.
Yeah, not bad, considering the issues, but all good.
Max Verstappen was pushed all the way, but he delivered to make amends for yesterday. Charles Leclerc on the front row for both races this weekend. Lewis Hamilton only 69 thousandths of a second away, P3. Lando Norris putting the top 4 separated by just over 1/10 of a second. Then it was Piastri, Sainz, Perez, Russell. A great lap from Alexander Albon, and the lead Alpine is Pierre Gasly. Daniel Ricciardo missing out by fine margins to make it into the top 10 shootout. And it's Alonso, Ocon, Stroll, Zhou Guanyu. It's Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Bottas, Tsunoda and Sargent who complete the field